Yes, that's the way it looks for our programme later on today, but we're going to now take the runners and riders for our first race. This is the Dunstall's Ladies Fashion Series over 10 furlongs. Runners and riders now named for us by Tracy.
12 ladies contest a £6,000 prize. First of these, number 1, Happy Rover, ridden by Anne Marshall. 2 is Candid Lad, the Mount of Carmel Bowden. 3, Nassau, Caroline Hutchinson. Number 4, Sinfonietta, Bina Rowan. 5, Television, Susan Hutchinson. Number 6, Key Partner, Annie O'Rourke. 7, Huramila, Sarah Collin. Her boss, John Ox. Number 8, Artist Unknown, Colette Barrett. Number 9, Barry's Run, Fiona Loughran. 10, Circuit Court, ridden by Martha Fennell. For her boss, Tommy Stack. Number 11, Glenn Cloud, Mount of Sophia Corns, who's had 4 wins from her last 7 rides. Number 12, Joan Jack, Kathleen Farrell. 13, Sir Ralph, is a non-runner.
Well, ladies race here on Heinz 57 Day, and a lovely day it is too for the ladies and for everybody to come racing here today. As we said yesterday, very few people, but today it looks to be a good crowd and what should be a very enjoyable day's racing. No finer place to come racing than Leopardstown. Great spectators place as well too, everything nice and near you, and a great view of what's happening out on the track and exactly what's happening in the parade ring as well. Ladies races are races that haven't handled a lot of respect in the betting market. Betting on ladies races isn't all that big, and a lot of horses run, they're running on their merits, but a lot of horses run sort of upside down sort of way. You get one sticky out horse and then maybe a bit of class and he comes home an easy enough winner and a short enough price. I don't see anything really sticking out in this race that might look home and dried. Sarah Collin rides one for John Ox there for the Aga Khan. There was a winner last time out, an easy enough winner too, and that should be difficult enough to beat. But Nassau ran well at Galway. He's got Caroline Hutchinson in the saddle. Caroline, one of the more experienced of the ladies riders. I really and truly would have my few quid on Nassau if I was having on anything, but I was a little disappointed with the way he just battled at Galway, but maybe here on the flat over maybe a shorter trip he could just about win. So that's Nassau for me, something each way. Tony Sweeney, what way are the punters going down there in the ring?
Well, they're finding it probably hard to pick between your choice, Nassau, and Harry Mila, Sarah Collins mount for John Ox. Harry Mila has the edge at the moment. They go 2-1 Harry Mila, 9-4 Nassau, 4-1 Glenn Cloud, and certainly the Counts family are doing very well in these ladies' races with Pritesville. So this is one that will probably attract some interest. 5 Circuit Court, 6 Television, disappointment here on Saturday, and it's 8-1 bar the 5. But a lot of the bookmakers you can see on the rails behind me taking it easy, sitting down, and they don't expect to do an excessive amount of business on this Dunstall's Ladies Fashion Ladies race. But the favourite at the moment is Harry Mila at 2-1, just shading Nassau at 9-4.
Well, this is the 9-4 shot. This is Nassau. The second favourite, Haramia, is 2-1. Nassau, 9-4 shot. Nassau will have the assistance of Caroline Hutchinson on his back, and that is a real good assistance because Caroline is quite one of our most experienced lady jockeys, and indeed against professional men I know that she'd hold her own as well. But I think she's got a good chance on Nassau. He's trained by Dermot Weld, whose horses have been running into top form in the last 4 weeks or so. Nassau is a little bit of an enigma, I think. He's not the most consistent of horses. He was tried over hurdles over the winter, didn't cut any ice over them. He came back to run over hurdles at Galway, and he found Loughlinstown Boy too good for him. And last time out at Galway, he ran a couple of days later in an extended handicap over a mile, and he finished 5th behind General Penfold. Well, that's ordinary enough form. Mind you, today's race is ordinary enough as well. He's got his chance, but I wouldn't want to back him myself at 9-4. Nassau, number 3, he's drawn number 11. Good-looking horse. He's a son of Cure the Blues out of Nantitius. Nantitius was a very, very smart filly indeed in her day. She won the Ribblesdale Stakes for Dermot Weld back in the 70s or early 80s. And, well, this is her son, who doesn't share the same ability, but he's already the winner of a race, and I've no doubt that he's going to win more races before his career's over. Number 3, Nassau. Here's the favourite. This is Haramia, trained by John Ox for His Highness the Aga Khan. We saw these colours carried to great effect in our first televised race here yesterday. Haramia is the mount of Sarah Cullen. Well, Sarah's also one of our most experienced lady riders, and Haramia is a filly in form. She's a filly by Darshan out of Hurrydown. Darshan won the French Derby for His Highness some 7 years ago, I suppose. Darshan was the winner of the French Derby from none other than Saddler's Wells, and what a year that was for prospective stallions. Darshan and Saddler's Wells have gone on to big things. Well, Haramia was the winner of her last start. She beat Lilliput Queen and Ransomed at Allen Road last time out. That was in a maiden over 10 furlongs. She beat them by 4 lengths and 15 lengths, so that was a nice way to do it. And to put the icing on the cake, Lilliput Queen, who finished runner-up, well, she went on to win her next race by a dozen lengths. So the form looks pretty solid. That's the 2-1 favourite, number 7, Haramia. Sarah Cullen in the saddle, and this filly's drawn number 10. Draw shouldn't make much of a difference. I shouldn't think it'll make any difference at all over this 10 furlong trip. Sinfonietta going through our picture in the foreground. A good crowd here today, I'm glad to say. Yesterday we were lamenting the poor turnout. Well, everybody saved their money for today. Today was the day to come to see the Heinz and the better class racing, and it's good to see that when the right card is put on, well, the people will come out in support.
It has to be said too, Robert, that you can't have racing on the weekend. Saturday and Sunday just doesn't work. Saturday racing and Sunday racing in the same area, I think it's too hard and taxing on the people's pockets to just come racing both days. Would you agree?
I would, and we were saying yesterday, Ted, that maybe even if you let Wexford or somewhere have the Saturday meeting, well, I'm quite sure you pick up a lot of the tourist crowd and a lot of the locals as well, and it'd be an interesting exercise to see a track perhaps like Wexford or some other track 100 miles away or so from the capital, see what they can do.
Sure. Well, of course, the racing board run Leopardstown. The racing board run racing, and they hand out the prime days to their own tracks. But if they could see a little bit further ahead and give some of the lesser tracks around the country a day like Saturday, I think they would work out better. Surely they must have learned a lesson from yesterday anyway, that when there's a big meeting on a Sunday, you can't afford to have another metropolitan meeting or in the same area. I don't think Saturday and Sunday would work in Tralee either. You have to have wides apart. There's number 9, Barry's Run. Luke Comer's runner, Fiona Loughran. Barry's Run was one of the runners in the Budweiser Irish Derby. While he cut no ice with Generous there, we didn't really expect him to. He still was brave enough to take on and got a few quid for finishing in 6th place. A lot more money than he's going to get here, even if he wins here. Luke Comer nearly had a winner in Kilbeggan on Friday night when Brookville just got touched off in a maiden hurl. And it would be nice for all connections here if Barry's Run were to stick his nose in front. He's a bit defined on recent runs, but this is a moderate sort of a race, and no doubt Barry's Run has his chance. He was no match for Beirut at Galway, beaten a long ways that occasion, about 20 lengths with a handy weight in his back. But he's going to give Fiona Loughran a good ride, and I hope he runs well. Called by Comanche Run at a Pit Marie, and sure to get his turn. There the runners going out onto the track. A lot of white rails there, putting people a little bit astray exactly where they are. There's number 6, key partner John McLaughlin's runner, Annie O'Rourke. Annie, who looks after some of the horses for John and travels a lot into the races, gets the ride on key partner here. And John has been a good supporter of both his ladies. He's given Carmel Bowden, who's the head girl there, a ride on Candid Lad on number 2, and Annie O'Rourke the ride on key partner. And full marks to John for doing this.
Yes, Ted. John has a lot of girls working for him in the yard, and Kevin Prendergast went up to him on the gallops the other day, and he said, "Hey, how are Charlie's Angels?" And John said to Kevin, "Well," he said they're not Charlie's Angels, they're Johnny's Angels." And he's got certainly 5 girls working for him, and they all do him proud. And it's nice to see that he's giving mounts here to Carmel and to Annie. So here's Tony Sweeney with an update on the betting.
Yes, they've drifted out here. As I said to you, there wasn't too much activity early on, and the bookmakers had to shift their prices out to do a bit of trading. They now go 5-2 the field, 5-2 everywhere I can see. 5-2 each of 2, Nassau and Harrimila. You can have 4-1, 9-2 in place about Glen Cloud. Circuit Court has shed a point to 6-1, although I noticed in the without betting that this is nearly favourite now and is obviously an attractive each-way prospect. They go 7-1 Television, 8-1 Happy Rover, and those 2 fillies of John McLaughlin that you were talking about, key partner at 10-1, would appear to be the selected by a whisker over Candid Lad, who's a 12-1 chance. So 5-2 the field, 5-2 each of 2, Nassau and Harrimila, and 4-1 Bar.
So 5-2 joint favourites then for this Dunstall's Ladies Fashion Series.
And the ground, I think, described as good to firm, is that right?
Good to firm today. It was good yesterday, but we haven't had a drop of rain here, and we've got a strong breeze this afternoon.
Leopardstown is a track that always dries out pretty quickly.
Haramir and Nassau, the 5-2 joint favourites. Glencloud is 4-1. Circuit Court 6s. Television 7-1. Happy Rover is on 8-1 with Key Partner and Candid Lad, and 10-1 no doubt bar those.
Two Hutchison girls riding here today, Susan and Caroline. Susan, the younger of the two.
Yes, number 5, this is Television, who ran here yesterday. It's had a scorching pace and dropped out turning for home, but I remember Television as a 2-year-old thinking that he was going to go on and win more than his share of races. He's only the winner of 1 race to date, but he was 4th before yesterday. He was 4th to Chelsea Native at Punchestown back in February, so he'll have come on from yesterday's race, and no doubt there are more wins to be found with this fella. A colt, or a gelding he is, by Vision out of Princess Eboli. Princess Eboli was a useful mare. Tony Sweeney, how are the punters going now?
Well, the punters aren't going too heavily, as we said earlier on, and the bookmakers are really having to fight for their share of the market here. Everything is on the drift, and you can have 3-1 the field, so paid to wait here. Not the early shoppers took the worst of the prices, because they go 3-1 Nassau and Harimila, and everything else has drifted. They go 9-2 about Glencloud, and it's now 7-1 bar the 3, 7-1 Television and Circuit Court. So competitive betting on this, and I'd say probably a bit of value if you could sort them out, Ted.
Probably a bit of value if you could sort him out, Tony, but if you can't sort him out, I certainly wouldn't be able to. You're an expert in that field, and you're doing it that longer than I am, so if you're not venturing into having a few quid, I certainly won't.
Well, I thought that Glencloud without 2, Ted, might be a bit of value.
Glencloud without 2. What price did you say he was without 2, Tony?
3-1.
3-1. Number 10 we have there Circuit Court. Martha Fennell, Circuit Court, Tommy Stack's runner, and Martha works down with Tommy Stack, and I thought this horse was an unlucky horse in Galway. I thought he should definitely have won with a bit of luck in Galway. He was just touched off there behind Green Marine, and if I were to have a bet, I think he might be the value of it, Tony. I think he's a winner without a penalty. He was most unlucky at Galway. He got stopped in these tracks just as he was about to make his win and challenge, and the winner just had flown before he got going again. Green Marine and Adrian Maguire beat him, but I think this horse was very unlucky not to win.
Number 11, that's with the star, that's the colours of Dan Tierney, Glencloud. Tony Sweeney's fancy without 2. Well, Glencloud is trained by Michael Corns and ridden by his daughter Sophia, and Sophia's ridden several winners now. I think she broke her Darker Tralee last year, but she's definitely one of the more experienced riders now. She's won 4 races to date, and Glencloud was 4th last time out behind Bay Rouge at Galway. That was over 1 mile and 3, and that was a fair run. We can see how Glencloud figures in the market. Glencloud is a 9-2 chance to win out, but the joint favourites are Haramia and Nassau. Joint favourites at 3-1. Glencloud 9-2. Circuit Court is a 7-1 shot with Television. It's 10-1 then. Happy Rover and Key Partner, who opened at 8s, and another that opened at 8s is Candid Lad, who's now available at 12-1.
Well, 7-10 or Circuit Court, I think wouldn't go astray there, Robert. Tony, they must be getting ready to go.
Yes, nearest to us is Television. Alongside is Candid Lad, and the handler assisting Television's partner, Susan Hutchinson. Just checking behind the stalls. There is in fact 1 still to go in, and that looks like Nassau, who's still out the back.
I can see the handler has Television caught by the lug of the ear there. If we get a close-up shot of the handler with Television drawn in stall 1, we can see him. They're just twisting Nassau around there, trying to confuse him a bit to make him walk on up. But if we get a close of Television, you can see the stall handler has him caught by the lug of the ear there. So he's trying to get his head down under the rails.
Nassau is safely installed now towards the far side, and they're off and running in this ladies' race. Quite a level break. Television well away, also Happy Rover, and it's Happy Rover who goes on. with Television. Television by a length. Happy Rover in second, and they're followed in third place by Key Partner with Candid Lad on the inside. With these as Circuit Court and a gap then of about 4 lengths back to Artist Unknown as they continue down the far side past the mile pole. Television from Happy Rover. Circuit Court on the outside is third. On the inside of Circuit Court is Joe and Jack. Behind Joe and Jack on the outside, Key Partner, then Candid Lad, and they're followed by Artist Unknown, and behind Artist Unknown is Barry's Run. They're being followed by Glen Cloud, with alongside Glen Cloud Sinfonietta. Coming towards the 6 marker, and Television on the inside of Happy Rover, a gap of almost 4 lengths to Circuit Court. Artist Unknown is next on the outside of Key Partner. Hurray Mela makes ground in the green colours towards the inside. Just behind these, Barry's Run with Glen Cloud and Candid Lad and Sinfonietta. They're racing around now towards the half-mile marker, and it's Happy Rover, the leader from Television. Circuit Court closes in third place, then Hurray Mela on the inside 4. They're followed by Artist Unknown, and then behind these is Key Partner, and after Key Partner, Glen Cloud making ground. Barry's Run just behind these with Nassau, then Sinfonietta, and behind these is Candid Lad as they race along now towards the 3 furlong marker, and that's Happy Rover in the purple colours, the leader, being followed by Circuit Court, the grey, Glen Cloud, the blinkers on the outside of Hurray Mela, who's in the green colours, and Television behind them on the inside. They swing into the straight with just over 2 furlongs to race, and it's Happy Rover from Glen Cloud now on the outside. Then Hurray Mela making ground still, and on the inside is Circuit Court, and then comes Nassau as they race towards the final furlong. It's Happy Rover being tackled by Hurray Mela. Glen Cloud on the outside, and Nassau just in behind them. They're inside the final furlong, and it's Hurray Mela who comes through the lead. Hurray Mela from Happy Rover in second, and then on the outside Nassau, but it's Hurray Mela in the lead by 2 lengths and going to win this one quite comfortably as you race up to the line. Hurray Mela with Happy Rover fighting back on the inside. Glen Cloud just third ahead of Nassau, and 5th is Circuit Court. Behind Circuit Court was Barry's Run, and then Television, Candid Lad. Behind Candid Lad came Sinfonietta, Artist Unknown, Key Partner, and the back marker was Joe and Jack. So the Dunn Stores Ladies Fashion Series race goes to Hurray Mela, number 7, owned by Sinus the Aga Khan, trained by John Ox, and confidently ridden by Sarah Collin.
Well, off the last bend, we had a Happy Rover still in front of this stage, taken over from Circuit Court. Here comes Sophia Conce, what looked like a winning run for a moment on Glen Cloud. As soon as she appeared, so did Hurray Mela and Sarah Collin between horses. Circuit Court dropping back there now on the grey on the inside, and Happy Rover is still in front of this stage, with Hurray Mela looms up here and goes on and wins slugly enough. Sarah Collin picks her stick out in her left hand, tends to drift a little bit towards the rail, but straightens it up well, and when she peeps over her shoulder and sees that she's well clear, eases this horse down the last 50 yards. Happy Rover and Anne Marshall keep on going, and they close the deficit again to maybe half a length of the line, but the winner has won nice and snug. Happy Rover's in second place. Nassau, close between Nassau and Glen Cloud for third. I think maybe Glen Cloud may have just held on to shade Nassau to third place, with Circuit Court back and forth. Pretty close. Maybe Glen Cloud just from Nassau in third. But the winner was Hurray Mela. Nice and easy enough success. Nice one there for Sarah Collin. Sarah, who rides out for the John Ox stable. And we saw her most famous victory came in the Galway Plate a few years back. And she rode her father's horse trained by Jim Draper in a very spectacular victory, making all that day. Sarah, one of the most experienced of the lady riders. So punters who supported the fancied horses there, nothing really to worry about. They looked to go a real good gallop. Television blazed along in front. Happy Rover took over from that across the bottom, and then Hurray Mela and the fancied horses came out of the pack, and he did his job well. The Aga Khans, this filly by Darshan, at a hurry down. The Aga Khans horses we see to great effect here this year. As Robert mentioned yesterday, a host of maidens throughout the country, whether you're in Wexford, Ballinrobe, Leopardstown, the Curragh, Galway, maidens and races alike seem to come his way. Shot of the big indoor tennis court here as the horses come back in on the left. Big dome there for the indoor tennis, and the horses walk back in here to the winner in saddling enclosure and the parade ring. Tony, the SP, penning the photo on the Dunn Stores Ladies Fashion Series.
Completed first of the second race, 7-1-11.
And the result has just been called. The winner is number 7, Hurray Mila, returned the 130 favourite. Second is number 1, Happy Rover, at 10-1, and in third place, in fact, was number 11, Glen Cloud, and Glen Cloud was returned in third place, ahead of Nassau. It was very tight between them, a short head difference. Glen Cloud a 5-1 chance, finishing a short head in front of Nassau, who was fourth, and that is the result of the photo finish for third place. The winner, Hurray Mila, at 130.